Hey guys, how's it going? It's Matt with Downrange Firearms Training again. Today I want to talk to you about a new holster that's out in the market for outside the waistband carry. It's custom Kydex. Usually when people think of Kydex holsters, one of the first things that comes to mind is a Blackhawk Serpa holster. Myself and the instructors at Downrange Firearms Training, we're not really fans of the Blackhawk Serpa holsters. A couple of my guys did carry the holster in Iraq and Afghanistan, and basically they saw failures in the holster as far as the release, the retention release with the button on it. You know, you get some sand and stuff like that in there, and that actually locks the gun up inside the holster, therefore making it non-accessible. I myself have been through a couple courses and seen guys try to either, the gun goes in the holster and they can't get it back out because of sand issues, dirt, grit, grime gets inside there. I've actually been in ECQC classes where the holster gets ripped from the body. Now you have no gun. So there's a company in the market I've been using for the past year and a half, a company called X Concealment. They're out of Florida, and they actually just came out with a new holster line. They originally only made holsters for Glocks, and since then they've been doing stuff with Glocks and M&Ps. The first series of holsters that they came out with was called the C holster, which is just for the Glock. It's a custom Kydex holster. It's kind of a minimalist holster outside the waistband on your belt. This was one of the original X Concealment holsters. You guys think of custom Kydex and you think of basically this big kind of massive structure that sits on your waistband and kind of does take up a lot of space. I'm really not a fan of stuff like that. That's why I switched over to the guys from X Concealment, and very minimalist holster. It can be used for range stuff, training, or even just everyday outside the waistband carry. It's got a little bit of flex in it, which is cool, so you tighten your belt up and stuff like that. They make it in 1.5 or 1 3/4 inch belt width loops. So whatever you guys wear for belts, and it does keep the holster very snug to the body. That's for, again, the Glock series of pistols. As you can see, very positive retention. Can be tightened up with the hex screw right there. They do provide you with a little hex wrench, and very, very minimalist, and does keep the gun concealed very well. The next up was the M series of holsters that they came out with. Again, a little bit bigger Kydex. I'm not really a fan of such big kind of like paddle type holsters, but this is still a great holster. I've run a bunch of courses with it. As you can see, gun sits in there nice and tight. It's not going anywhere. Totally adjustable in the back for cant and ride height, however you guys want to do it. And most recently, the guys at X Concealment sent me this custom holster. Actually, my logo on there too. Thank you very much for that, guys. And it's the new M&P holster, which is basically on the same premise of what their original Glock C holster was. A little bit more of a minimalist design. They take away all the unnecessary Kydex. You can get it in a straight up and down format or in a cant. I like to cant my gun, so it's got a little bit of a cant to it. And again, custom fitted for my own personal waist. What's cool about the Kydex holsters for outside the waistband carry, if you live in a state that allows outside the waistband carry, cool. Here in Massachusetts, we unfortunately have to do concealed carry, so I like to carry outside the waistband, especially in the wintertime where you're wearing a heavy jacket or a sweatshirt or something like that. All the less layers of clothing you have to defeat in order to get at your gun if, God forbid, you did need it. What else is cool about this is, it's got a positive, you can hear it click, lock inside there. No mechanisms to defeat, just straight pull up and down. One of the problems that I saw in a lot of classes with the Blackhawk Serpa holsters was under critical instance stress, guys are going to grab the gun and they're forgetting they actually have to defeat that little lever, and they're yanking on the gun like that and it's not going anywhere until they go, oh, I have to hit the button. Then the gun comes out. I'm going to show you in a second why I actually prefer these holsters as opposed to some of the other holsters for outside the waistband carry and for training purposes. Anybody knows the guns that I carry all have this little ledge on them right here for one-handed manipulations, and when we do combat focus shooting classes, especially the advanced pistol handling classes, one of the things you'll have to do is a one-handed manipulation. And it's a lot easier to do a one-handed manipulation off of a rigid holster as opposed to a leather holster where it's going to collapse on you, not going to be able to get a good grip on it with the rear of your sights. So next up, just going to show you how the holster works as far as the consistent, in and out of the holster, return to and from the holster, and how to do one-handed manipulation, racking the gun off of your holster. Again, guys, we practice one-handed malfunction drills and racking the gun off of our holster because during dynamic critical incident, we don't know exactly what's going to happen. We may only have one hand, at our disposal at that time. So that is why we do go over the one-handed method as far as racking the gun off the holster, loading the gun, and getting back in the fight. All right, guys, so again, in conclusion, I just want to speak on the strength and, rigidness of the X-Concealment holsters. If you can zoom in right there, you can see the edge of the holster is kind of chewed up. I was using these holsters in the last couple combat-focused shooting classes we did, putting over 2,000 rounds through our guns, racking the sights off of the holster, and I actually broke more sets of sights than I did anything else. Just again, a testament to how strong these holsters actually are. This holster held up as opposed to the fact that I had to replace 6 sets of rear sights on my gun using factory Glock sights. X-Concealment also does make a couple different mag pouches for the Glocks and the M&Ps. Single mag pouches, double mag pouches, and they actually make a mag pouch with a flashlight combination on it, which is actually pretty cool too. And as far as how fast you can index the gun from the holster, I actually just used this, the new M&P C holster that X-Concealment has in my very first IDPA match. I used that against a bunch of guys that are using all their high-speed competition rigs, and I actually fared pretty well against them as far as time goes. So, hope you enjoyed the video. As always, subscribe to our other videos. Check us out on the web, www.drftraining.com. Go like us on Facebook. Go find the guys X-Concealment on Facebook as well. They're also on our Facebook. Check their website out, x-concealment.com. And always remember, only hits count.